Buenos dias. And don't forget social distances. Don't forget safe practices. Make sure your mask is covering your nose. When you take it off by your handles. All right? All right, guys. So it's this art piece is a bit different because you're doing it in the form of a video. Yes, I know that you have been doing your garden, right? But we just want to put a few pieces together. Some of you may have pictures on it, some of you may not, but I know you could slip it in and you could adjust and alter and make a fantastic video for me. Some of you might be familiar with PowerPoint, where you could slip in your pictures, you download your pictures, put it under PowerPoint, and you could type in words to it. Some of you may not be able to do that, and you might be able to do your videos. I know there are apps that you can do videos. You can do a video on your topic. All right, so I'm giving you a basic outline, which I want to see you present your video. There are certain bits of information that I want to see in your video on your garden. Okay, so let's go here, screen share. Okay, slideshow from the beginning. Okay, so we're looking at what your garden presentation should have. Okay, in your garden presentation, before you present, I must have a journal, okay? The journal could be in print, where I would see the name of the plant, the day the seeds were obtained, how long it took to germinate, where you place your plant, either to the east, the west of your house, north or south, if it was up on a balcony. And when we say where, we're also looking at specifically why did you choose that place? That place will most likely the place where it is getting the morning sun, and where would be the best place for your plant, because maybe you might have dogs who might be knocking it down, or it might be where everybody keeps passing. So I want to know why you chose this place for your plant. How often that did you water it? What kinds of nutrients you use, and how long did you take it to mature? When I ask what nutrients did you use, for me, my garden is a very slow garden because I use natural ingredients. So here I have with me my baking pan and my eggs. So normally I would store my eggs, right? When I'm finished using it, I would store my eggshells. And when I'm baking, I will put the eggs and bake with whatever I'm baking. And then after it's very crispy, I put it in a blender and I will get this powdery. This is the eggshell. So this is what I would use to nurture my plants, and I put my nutrients almost every week. All right. So let's look and see what we have here. So I must see a journal, and I want to see how did you prepare. So the first thing I did was get my container. So here I use, this was my chamber chai tea. I cut it open, right? And this portion here, I was able to make labels out of it because these are the seeds I collected. How I got my seeds, I collected my seeds. Some of my seeds I collected, some of them I bought, but I needed to know what plant was where. So here it is, I recycled from this container and I made my labels using a permanent marker. Okay, so this is an example of how I got my seeds. So from my normal sweet peppers, tomatoes, I left it out in a container, leaving it to dry, right? This is a peanut butter cover. I recycled and used that, okay? So this tells you how you got your seeds. Next, I looked in my house. So here, I looked for where the morning sun was coming. That morning, those direct rays are important. And the morning sun comes on the left side of my house, okay? Or the eastward side of my house. And here I have my garden. You can see my little pots, my labels, okay? So in your own, you will be featuring your plant, not all these, but this is an instance of what I mean by looking for the morning sun. So in the morning, I would look and see, and I would decide, right, this is the best place to plant my plant. Now, do you know, just a side note, that different times of the year, the morning sun, so for my house, it would not come on the eastward side, will come on the westward side. So therefore, all these plants here, as you can see, they're in containers, they would go on the other side of the house. Oops. Okay, so I have my labels and I have my little containers. So here's where I will put my little seeds, and as they start to come out, notice too, I am dressed for my garden, right? So here I am. Once it is ready, I will take it out and put it into the container. So here I'm showing you how you transfer the plants, right? From the seedling tray. So some of you, you may have done this, or some of you, you planted directly. So you will let us know what it is you did. Right. So normally I would water first thing in the morning, and here I am all dressed for gardening with my boots, right? Especially when I am nurturing my plant, right? Whether I'm weeding or taking out bugs or putting insecticide, I'm always making sure that I am fully well dressed. My hands are protected, my feet are protected. Remember, you're dealing with soil and you don't know what's in the soil, right? So sometimes I would produce my own soil by manual, or sometimes I would buy soil. So as to be on the safe side, I always wear protective wear. Right, so in your video making, you're showing yourself in in the activities, right? So one of the activities, another activity is, so here I am weeding, right? This is a label of my plant, and this is my produce in the end, my tomato plant. Right here, you can see one of my containers. It produced the tomatoes, right? There's the label, right? My activity. So your video must show that, and you will let us know how long it take. If it was a month, if it was 3 months, 3 months after, this is what you had, right? And if it is, well, with tomatoes, most plants you have to stake them up because it's a vine, right? You let us know what you did, right? And in the end, I love a tomato salad. Show us what you did. Okay? So I know you have started your gardening work, you have started it already, and there may be a few things that you could slip in, right? And add to the video, making it follow very fluidly. Let's just go over it again, the order again, and how it is we want to see things done. Let's go over it again from the beginning. Right? So you should have your journal, okay? Current side. You should have your journal. So the journal will give us a visual of what it is you did, right? The plant we're looking at. So I gave you a kind of view of many, but I want you focusing on that one plant. Or if it is you want us to see your garden, you could also name it, right? The seeds, how you got the seeds, whether you bought them or whether you yourself hatched the seeds and you dried it, okay? You also look at where you place your plant, always looking for the sun. That's the most important. So where in your house you got most of the sun? Some of you, you might be living in an upstairs and downstairs house. Some of you, your home might have a balcony. You hang it out somewhere. These are the questions that I want you to answer for me. Watering. Did you water twice a day, morning and evening? Or did you water when you realized the sun was too hot? Okay? The nutrients that you use. I showed you my nutrients, which were organic use. Some of you may have used blue corn. All right, some of you may have used Epsom salts. These are also nutrients you can add to your soil. Some of you would have added manure, right? Some of you, your parents might have a little chicken coop, or you might have a fowl pen somewhere, right? Cow manure, and you add these nutrients, and that's what you did. And then how long did it take to mature? After 2 months, 3 months, how long afterwards did you get your maturity? Labeling is important, right? Notice I didn't buy the labels. I just recycled whatever it is I had, right? This is my container. From this, I got my labels, right? This is where I got my seeds, the plant, putting it on a tray and leaving it to dry, right? Important location, why that location was chosen, right? And this is me in my process. I want, when you're showing pictures of yourself, let me see you dressed to garden. So here I am in my St. Joseph's uniform with my garden boots, tending to my garden, right? See my St. Joseph. It's important that I see your St. Joseph logo, okay? So here I have my gloves, I have my boots, I'm watering the plants, right? Here I am again tending to the plants here. The label being used. Yes, there were two different labels. The small one was for the nursery and these are for the big plants and the end product. Okay, so I hope this helped you. I look forward to seeing your videos. You already have it, so don't panic. Just take your time and present your video. So once again, safe practices are in order. Make sure and cover your nose and your mouth. All right. I look forward to seeing your videos. Adios.